And there's been some good news coming out of the Middle East. The last American hostage held in Gaza, Eden Alexander, has been released by Hamas after discussions with the US over a ceasefire and a deal to allow humanitarian aid to enter the Gaza Strip. Let's just take a look at those scenes. Cannot even begin to imagine the relief and all the emotion that Eden Alexander and his family would be feeling after more than 500 days being held hostage and finally being returned. Now, the US says that the release is expected to lead to negotiations for the release of additional hostages, and that's certainly another thing we can hope for, Hilary.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this whole situation has been beyond ghastly. I actually have to say, and I'm sure every mother, and you were very touched there, when you hear just the cries and the sounds, this shouldn't happen to any family, particularly in the circumstances it did. It was beyond ghastly. So yes, Hamas has said that they obviously are trying. They made this. I think that their statement said that it was a gesture to the US. They do want to obviously have more supplies go into Gaza, and they've really been pressured. And again, this comes down to, I think it was also Steve Witkoff has been over there negotiating. He's a tough negotiator, and he's got this release. And kudos to him. Kudos to the Trump administration. This did not happen under the Biden administration. They weren't working on it. I think it's wonderful.
Absolutely. And Hilary, finally, I have to talk to you about the Democrats, because former US President Joe Biden was back in the spotlight last week with an appearance on The View, as well as sitting down for an interview on the BBC. During his appearance on The View, he suggested that Kamala Harris lost the election because of her sex, and alluded to the fact that Americans must just be sexist and racist. Now, his appearance has ignited anger among Democrats who wish that the former president would just ride off into retirement and stay there. Many in his party are just desperate to turn the page on Biden's presidency, craving new leaders, fresh faces, as the Democrats just look to find a way out of the political wilderness. You know, what do you make of Joe Biden's appearance? I certainly agree with the Democrats that are not happy to see Joe Biden coming back and giving his 2 cents.
Well, you're absolutely right, but it's wonderful for Republicans. Let's bring Joe Biden back whenever possible. No, I think he should go back to the beach where he was during most of his presidency. But one thing that's very interesting, actually, some of the discussion I've seen, and I've actually heard from Democrats, and I have Democratic friends, and I know many on Capitol Hill, is that they actually are admitting and lamenting the fact that they don't ever get a chance to vote, that this is all like the elitists, the Democratic elitists give them the candidate. Hillary Clinton was never elected by the Democrats. She did not go through primaries. And it's the same thing with Kamala. And I think that is what is the saddest. Let the people speak. We're in a democracy. And no, the Democratic elitists give their members or their voters the candidate. And hence you've seen these disasters. They need to start learning their lesson.
Absolutely. President and founder at Strelmark, Hilary Fordwich, thank you so much for joining us on Power Hour. Great to speak with you.
Absolutely. Pleasure, Gabriella, always.